The $50 million for condoms for Gaza thing was debunked like 2 seconds after it escaped from Caroline Leavitt's mouth, but the right isn't gonna let a little thing like the truth stand between them and a distraction for their base. Take a look.
In that process, we identified and stopped $50 million being sent to Gaza to buy condoms for Hamas. 50 million. And you know what's happened to them? They've used them as a method of making bombs. How about that?
Now billions and billions going out the door for ridiculous programs that never should have been funded. It's a joke.
50 million towards condoms in Gaza for Hamas. It's absurd.
Yep, it is. It's absurd, actually. It's utterly absurd. And look, it is one thing to have like Karen Leavitt, who, when she lies to us, I can't even get that mad because her job title is she's a propagandist. That's what she's supposed to do. But then it gets fact checked. They know it's not true, and they're like, well, whatever. What am I supposed to like have respect for the people watching me speak? Respect for my vote? No, screw that. They're dumb peasants, and I'm gonna tell them convenient lies. That's what I'm gonna do, and that's what they did. Donald Trump knows it's not true. Alina Habba, to the extent that she can hold a thought in her head, knows that it's not true, and they just decided to say it again anyway. We already knew hours before all of that, USAID hadn't spent any money on condoms for the entire Middle East for the last 3 years, let alone $50 million for Gaza. But wait until you find out what appears to be the actual origin for the lie. So we didn't know this yesterday. We assumed that they just totally made it up. Now they've made up the fact that they keep saying it, but according to the HHS grants database, the Elizabeth Glaser Pediatric AIDS Foundation in Mozambique has received more than $83 million in funding since 2021. The money was assigned, yes, to reproductive health projects in 2 of the country's provinces, in Hambane and Gaza. Gaza being a region in Mozambique. Now, I'm not an expert on geography. It's possible that you're not either. They're not actually the same place, not actually in the Middle East. It's close though. If you take a look at this map, you basically just have to head south 6,000 kilometers.
That's not far.
And then you'll hit Gaza, Mozambique. And so and the thing is, we don't know for sure that this is where Caroline Leavitt got her lie. We'll never know for sure, but it is just dumb enough to be the origin for this. It is.
Of course it is.
Perfectly stupid enough that this could be why they're telling that insane lie.
Yeah, they just put out a press release that spelled the country Colombia wrong with a U, like the university. Of course this is everything is like.
I would probably do that too.
Sure, but it is just like I cursorily read a thing somewhere, I forget. I saw Gaza and now I'm running with this line. And the same thing with, you think that maybe they'll rein it in, right? Where they're like, this sounds so ridiculous. We're just gonna fact check it and maybe we should stop saying it because we're kind of getting dunked on for saying something so silly, especially given the state of Gaza at the moment, to say nothing of the state of the US's, attitude towards Gaza, being that we're totally fine with its continued destruction. But instead of doing that, it reminds me of the cats and dogs things. Same thing if they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs. You immediately I thought, they're gonna rein that in. There's no way Trump's gonna say that, at a national debate, like that's so silly. No, of course he did. He said it, he doubled down, he ran with it because it's the lie that just gets bigger and bigger the more you repeat it. And so now $50 million for condoms is just spreading like wildfire because they say it is, even though it's an utter lie. And again, it's like, they don't, if they find out it's from Mozambique, they'll be like, yeah, why would we even send it there? Now I'm gonna hate Mozambique. And it's like, I don't know, for like the same reason you'd have federal programs in this country that give out free contraception, cuts down on HIV, AIDS and other STIs, unwanted pregnancies and the like, but they don't believe in that. They don't believe in any of that. It's God's law and will for you to be itchy as hell. You know what I'm saying? Down there. Just like all the boils, the crabs, what else can you get? The chlamydia, the clap.
This is not the crab boil I was hoping for.
This is not the crab boil, but like God wants you to get the clap is there. motto.
Yeah, when I fact checked yesterday on the show that we do reproductive stuff for Africa, I did that to be clear and accurate, but I also knew in saying it, they're also gonna hate that too.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not even gonna think about the fact that this also benefits us, not only with the expansion of soft power of the US abroad, but also it stops drug resistant versions of this from starting in Africa and then spreading to the United States. Again, what's the point of trying to talk to these people when you have a story like this? I said it in the beginning and never forget it. Do not ever underestimate how stupid things are gonna get. They're gonna get awful. I mean, they're setting up concentration camps, but it's also gonna get so mind-numbingly dumb. When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?